Into the realm of the PL-89, into the realm of the higher time, into the realm of the Messiah time. It is simple to sing the tune, match the sun up with the moon, with the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. The two calendars are one, match the moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esau, Tikkun and Tohu, and with that our work is done. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Thursday, February 19th, 2026, and it is Yom Chamishi, 5th day of the week. The second day of Adar, 5786, the parsha of the week is Teruma. Teruma. And Daf Yomi is Menachot 39. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar. It is a lunar and solar calendar. It is the Jewish calendar and the Gregorian calendar together in one calendar. And that's what the song is all about. It's simple to sing the tune, match the sun up with the moon. And there's a pasuk, a verse in Psalm 72 in Tehillim, Perek Ayin Bet, that says, Im Shemesh V'lifnei Yareach Dor Dorim, talking about Hashem, with the sun and before the moon many generations. And that's what this calendar is all about. Im Shemesh V'lifnei Yareach Dor Dorim. And this calendar is 90 days. That means there's 4 of them per year, roughly, and depending on the solar or the lunar. And every day there's a number, a box. Now there's no months written, so there are 4 sets of months, 4 sets of 3 months. There's also 3 sets of 4 months, but on the 4 set of 3 months, is the starting point, and whatever dispensation that one is in at the time will determine what the starting point is. So this calendar was developed. It first came out in 2012, in late summer, like end of August, early September, I would say, of 2012. And that was the first dispensation. And that dispensation, I've noticed that many of the dispensations of this calendar followed the halving of Bitcoin. I don't know why, but that's how it worked. It was like there was a halving is when it splits in value. It was like in 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024. And this calendar followed not intentionally. It's just after I've seen it that it correlated, except for the first one. The first one, 8 years went by, and there was only one halving. There's 2 halvings in the Bitcoin world, but in this it went from 2012 to 2020 as one dispensation. So that includes the halving of 2016. And so the first dispensation of this calendar, the starting point, which would be here, number 8, would start from all the months that are mutable. If you're familiar with astrology, you can look up astrology online and just type in astrology, cardinal, fixed, mutable, those types of months. If you Google that, and you'll get tons of information on what these kind of months are. But I won't explain it now because it'll take too much time. So in the first dispensation, all of the mutable months started the 3-month count. That's called dispensation 1, which is 8 years. Then from 2020 to 2024, like right around when Corona came, just exactly that time, March 24th, I would say, of 2020, the dispensation changed, and then the setting is different, and all the cardinal months start the count. That dispensation went for 4 years. See, it halved. It was 8 years and 4 years. The next dispensation, which we are currently right now, is about to end, which is 2 years, because it's always halving. 8, then 4, then 2. So as of the springtime, the late springtime of 2024, which is ER time, like the counting of the Omer, like after Passover, basically, late April, early May, is the dispensation 2, and then all of the cardinal months started the count. Then, as of around that time of 2024, up until May of 26, and we're almost there, and then that's it. It's completed its full 14-year or 13-and-a-half-year course, and I will consider my work with this calendar done. Now, it's not going to mean that I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use it plenty, but I'm going to consider that basically it came to its terminus, and I'll be waiting to see what happens after that. But basically, it covered all the combinations of all the different kinds of months as a starting point. It covered the cardinal, it covered the fixed, it covered the mutable. Or, in this case, mutable, cardinal, and then fixed. As it stands now, all the fixed months and Aquarius / February / Shvat is a fixed month, and that's where it started from. So right now we are in Adar, the second day of Adar, and the second day of any month in this setting is always going to be in a box that is printed 32. Okay. And it's the second day of any month of any cycle, but of the mutable, it's in dispensation 3, then it's always going to be, meaning March 2nd is going to be here. Okay? June 2nd would be here if it was still going. December 2nd, Kislev 2. So basically, 32. When we were back, the last time we were in a mutable month was in December, or Kislev. Both of those months, the second was always on a 2 also. So 32 is that number here. 32. So that's your lunar number. The moon number is 32. But what's the solar number? Well, what's the solar day? Today is February 19th. The 19th day of any fixed month, February is fixed, remember, is always going to be Shvat. Was when we were on Shvat 19, is right here. There's a box that's printed number 1 on it. So that means the February 19th is going to be boxed, printed with a 1, so it's 1. And Adar 2 is going to be box 32. What you do is you add them together. So the number for today is 33. The PL-89 synthesis of the sun and the moon is 33. And now you might ask, okay, then now what? What do you do with 33? There's different methods you can use. Basically, 33 is the starting point, and then you build on that. So there's a number of methods I've been using over the past 9 months or so. Almost 9 months. I started in July. I started making daily videos on the PL-89 Gematria Quantum Thought Calendar since July 1st / Tammuz 1. Might have been Tammuz 5, July 1, or something like that. But around the early Tammuz in July time of 2025. There's many different methods, and the one I'm using now is the infinite substitution method, which is really not infinite. It hits a repeat. I haven't found one yet that doesn't have a repeat, but I'm looking for it. I compare it to like in a calculator when you do this divided by this, and then it gets a long number, and it looks like it's like 523, 523, 827, and 523, 827. It keeps going like that. or like 77777, like it repeats. This is what I mean. We just said that the combination of the sun and the moon is going to be 33. So what you do is, the process is, it can be done in English or Hebrew, but I'm doing it in English because it's for several reasons. But you write out 33 as a word. Thirty, Three, 33. And now you can make that into a number. How? By applying the English gematria alphanumeric cycle. It has different names. It's the same thing. It's basically, some people call it simple English, some people call it English ordinal, some people just call it English gematria, some people call it standard English. Basically, it's A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, D equals 4, E equals 5, ordinal, all the way up until Z, which equals 26. There's 26 letters in the English alphabet. It's also a good sign. 26 is a numerical value of God in both English and in Hebrew. And so the fact that English has 26 letters is telling that it's maybe more than we thought it was. And that's part of my work with the Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar, is to uncover secrets that are embedded within the English language. Oftentimes when they're connected to Hebrew, connected to the Bible. Just to say that Hebrew is a holy language, it may be the first holy language, is true, but to say that English is a holy language, some people say it's not a holy language. If it's based on Hebrew, and in many cases it is, then you could also connect the holiness of English to Hebrew. I give one example right now, that God, G-O-D, is equal to 26, and Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey is equal to 26. And they're both ordinal. They're both, because they're under 10. Because it's 10, 5, 6, 5. And it's all under, so it doesn't go in Hebrew Gematria, in the most normal one, the regular universal one, it goes after 10, it goes by tens. So you might, if you wanted to be, find a problem with it, you would say, well, English Gematria only goes by ones all the way. By the way, there's a way of applying that to Hebrew too, but I'll leave that aside. And then Hebrew, the universal cipher, goes by tens after Yud. No. But in Hebrew, it's still under 10. Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey are all under 10. So they're both ordinal. Any way you look at it, it would be the exact same in English and in Hebrew. Literally, according to the laws of English and Hebrew Gematria, that is the universal Hebrew. But there is a way called Mispar Siduri, Mispar Seder, where you treat the Hebrew alphabet exactly like I described the English alphabet, where you're just counting 1 through 22 straight. And there's some marvelous and fantastic results with that as well. But getting back to the point, you take 33 and you make it into a word, or you can do it in Hebrew too, shloshim v'shaloshin, and then you do the gematria of that. So then 33 would equal, I forgot what 33 equals, but whatever it is, you get a number, and then that number you make into a word, and then you make that word into a number, and it goes many iterations. It goes many times. And until, it can go 15, 20 times, maybe more, until it hits one point where you hit a number, and then only about 3 ones after that, it comes back to that number. Like I experienced that with, I wanted to take these numbers to their completion, which is when it hits the event horizon, is what I call it. The event horizon of a black hole in physics, astrophysics, or this is what I'm told, is that they call it the event horizon, is when you come to a certain point of a black hole where after you pass that point, not you, someone, whoever passes that, they're stuck in this black hole. They can't come back. So the event horizon, at least how I remember it described, so the event horizon of this, applied to this idea, is that you keep turning a number into another number, into another number, into a word, to a number, to a number, to a number. And when you hit a certain point, okay, I just remember I did this with 74. I did 74, and then you write it out, S-E-V-E-N, T-E-Y, and then you get, when you make that into a number 74, it becomes 170. I think 170, yeah. And then 170 becomes a number. It becomes like 208 or something. And then you write out 208. You keep doing that about 10 times, maybe 15, maybe 20 times. Eventually you'll come to a number that's called a word. Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah. 240. And if you write out 240, 200, H-U-N-D-R-Y, 40, F-O-R-T-Y, then you'll get, I think, I'm not remembering exactly correctly, only about 3 iterations after that, or 4 iterations, 4 tries like that, you'll come back to 240 again, and then you're stuck in that loop. And then figuratively speaking, 1 is in the black hole, and you can call it the white hole, let's say, and something to make it positive. Black hole has a negative connotation. You're stuck in this infinite feedback loop, and then the way in this mathematical process, this alphanumeric process, the way you complete each number is you take every number to its event horizon, and then pass it, and then you've completed that number. And so that's what I've been doing with the gematriatic quantum. But I did this a few years back. I was doing this with many numbers, taking numbers to their returning point. And I'm just thinking right now. I don't know the mathematician. I don't know the math exactly how this works. But my guess would be it can't be more than 26 tries, because there's 26 letters. Does that make sense? It's just a guess. I'm just a wild guess. It may be totally false, but like you turn a number into a word, and you keep going back into a number, word, number, then it will expend all of the possibilities of the letters. I don't know. The reason why I say that, because I don't think I remember going more than that. But it could have been 30, 40. I don't remember. I think maybe it was like 20. There might be a number. It's worthwhile to do this study. But anyway, that's the process I've been involved with these days.